Every morning is a blank page. What you write on it begins long before the world speaks to you. Your words shape your mind, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. The truth is, your life moves in the direction of your strongest declarations. Today, you have the power to decide what that direction will be. The moment you say, I am responsible, something powerful happens inside you. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the architect of your future. Responsibility is not about carrying guilt. It is about carrying authority. It is the understanding that while you may not control everything that happens to you, you absolutely control how you respond. Many people spend years blaming their parents, their background, the economy, their boss, or their past mistakes. Blame feels comfortable because it removes pressure, but it also removes power. The day you accept responsibility is the day you reclaim control over your direction. Responsibility means you acknowledge your role in your growth. It means you stop waiting for perfect conditions and start working with what you have. It means you no longer allow yesterday's failure to dictate today's effort. When you look in the mirror each morning and declare, I am responsible, you are reminding yourself that your habits are your choice. Your attitude is your choice. Your discipline is your choice. Even your mindset is your choice. Responsibility forces maturity. It demands honesty. It challenges you to examine where you are and why you are there. Instead of asking, who is at fault? You begin asking, what can I do differently? That single shift changes everything. It transforms complaints into strategies. It transforms frustration into action. Responsible people don't wait for motivation. They create structure. They don't wait for rescue. They build solutions. They understand that growth requires ownership. When you accept responsibility for your time, you become intentional with it. When you accept responsibility for your finances, you become disciplined with them. When you accept responsibility for your health, you become consistent in protecting it. Responsibility is not heavy when you understand its purpose. It is empowering. It tells you that your future is not random. It is built, and you are the builder. Every morning, before the world tells you who you are, remind yourself that you are responsible for the energy you bring, the standards you set, and the results you pursue. That declaration reshapes your behavior because ownership produces action, and action produces progress. When you say, I am capable, you confront the greatest limitation most people carry: self-doubt. Capability is not merely about skill. It is about belief. Many individuals never discover what they can truly do because they decide too early what they cannot do. They measure themselves against others and shrink their own potential. But capability expands when it is exercised. You are not created empty. You are born with abilities, talents, ideas, and problem-solving capacity that may still be undeveloped. The tragedy is not lack of potential. It is lack of confidence in that potential. When you declare, I am capable, you challenge the voice that says you are not enough. You challenge the fear that tells you to stay small. Capability is built through action, but it begins with conviction. The mind must accept what the body will attempt. If you believe you are incapable, you will avoid challenges. If you believe you are capable, you will approach them with courage. This does not mean you know everything. It means you are willing to learn. It does not mean you will never fail. It means you trust yourself to figure it out. Capability grows with responsibility. The more ownership you take, the more skills you develop. The more you step forward, the more competence you gain. Every achievement you admire in others started with someone deciding they were capable enough to try. When you wake up each morning and affirm your capability, you are strengthening your self-image. You are reminding yourself that you can improve, adapt, and overcome. You are telling your mind to search for solutions instead of excuses. You are positioning yourself to take calculated risks instead of retreating into comfort. Capability is not arrogance. It is awareness of potential. It is understanding that you have within you the resources to grow beyond your current position. And as you repeat that truth daily, your actions begin to align with it. Your confidence begins to reflect it, and your results begin to confirm it. When you declare, I am disciplined, You are making a decision that separates you from the crowd. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. Many people have dreams, but few have structure. Many have vision, but few have consistency. Discipline is not about intensity for one day. It is about commitment every day. It is waking up when you don't feel like it. It is working when distractions invite you to relax. It is choosing long-term reward over short-term comfort. The truth is, your life does not change because of what you desire. It changes because of what you do repeatedly. Discipline shapes identity. If you see yourself as inconsistent, you will behave inconsistently. But when you affirm, I am disciplined, you begin to align your actions with that identity. Discipline trains your mind to obey your decisions instead of your emotions. Feelings fluctuate. Energy rises and falls. But discipline creates stability. It says, I will execute the plan regardless of my mood. Every successful person you admire has mastered daily discipline. Not dramatic moments, but daily routines. Small actions done consistently create extraordinary results over time. Discipline in your thoughts prevents negativity from dominating your mind. Discipline in your words prevents you from speaking carelessly. Discipline in your finances protects your future. Discipline in your health strengthens your body. It is not restriction. It is direction. It does not limit you. It liberates you from chaos. Without discipline, talent is wasted. Without discipline, opportunity is lost. When you train yourself to act with discipline, you reduce regret. You increase reliability. You build trust with yourself. And self-trust is powerful. When you trust yourself to follow through, your confidence rises. You stop negotiating with excuses. You stop postponing growth. You stop becoming predictable in your excellence. Every morning, before the demands of the day begin, remind yourself that you are disciplined. Not because you feel strong, but because you have decided to be structured. That declaration conditions your mind to prioritize what matters. It builds resilience. It strengthens focus. It transforms ordinary days into productive ones. When you declare, I am growing, you free yourself from the fear of imperfection. Growth is a process, not an event. Many people become discouraged because they expect instant transformation. They want immediate results without consistent development. But growth takes time, it requires patience, it demands humility. When you adopt the mindset of growth, you stop viewing challenges as threats and start seeing them as training. Every mistake becomes information. Every setback becomes instruction. Growth shifts your perspective from, why is this happening to me, to what is this teaching me? That question alone changes your emotional response. Instead of frustration, you cultivate curiosity. Instead of quitting, you pursue improvement. Growth means you are not defined by your current limitations. It means your skills can expand, your confidence can strengthen, your wisdom can deepen. A growth mindset prevents stagnation. It pushes you to read more, learn more, practice more, and refine more. It eliminates complacency. It reminds you that who you are today is not the final version of who you can become. When you say, I am growing, you remove the pressure to be perfect and replace it with the commitment to progress. You accept that development is sometimes uncomfortable. Growth stretches you beyond familiarity. It challenges old habits. It exposes weaknesses. But that discomfort is evidence of expansion. Seeds must break open before they rise. Muscles must stretch before they strengthen. Character must be tested before it matures. Growth requires reflection. It requires adjustment. It requires persistence. When you wake up each morning and affirm that you are growing, you align your mind with progress. You become less reactive and more reflective. You become less defensive and more teachable. You understand that every experience is shaping you. And as long as you are growing, you are advancing, evolving, and moving beyond yesterday's version of yourself. When you declare, I am grateful, you shift the atmosphere of your mind before the day even begins. Gratitude is a choice, not a reaction. Most people wait for something extraordinary to happen before they feel thankful. But powerful individuals understand that gratitude is not based on events. It is based on perspective. When you wake up and intentionally acknowledge what you have, you reposition your focus. Instead of magnifying what is missing, you recognize what is present. And what you focus on expands. Gratitude does not ignore challenges. It puts them in context. You may not have everything you want, but you have something to build with. You may not be where you desire to be, but you are not where you started. Gratitude strengthens emotional stability. It reduces anxiety because it trains your mind to search for provision rather than problems. It develops resilience because it reminds you of past victories. When you reflect on how far you have come, you build confidence for how far you can go. Grateful people carry a different energy. They approach opportunities with appreciation instead of entitlement. They value relationships instead of taking them for granted. They handle resources with care because they understand their worth. Gratitude also guards your attitude. It is difficult to complain constantly when you are intentionally counting blessings. It is difficult to remain bitter when you are consciously remembering the good. Every morning when you say, I am grateful, you are disciplining your thoughts. You are telling your mind to align with abundance rather than scarcity. Gratitude fuels generosity. When you recognize how much you have received, you are more willing to give. It builds humility because it reminds you that not every advantage came from your effort alone. Gratitude creates contentment without destroying ambition. You can appreciate what you have while still striving for more. That balance produces peace, and peace produces clarity. A grateful mind is focused, steady, and prepared for opportunity. It attracts growth because it recognizes value. When you consistently practice gratitude, you rewire your emotional patterns. You train yourself to see possibility in ordinary moments. You condition your heart to remain steady in uncertain seasons. When you declare, I am unstoppable, you are not claiming that obstacles will disappear. You are declaring that obstacles will not define you. Unstoppable is a mindset before it becomes a reality. It is the refusal to surrender to temporary defeat. Everyone faces resistance. Everyone encounters criticism. Everyone experiences delay. The difference is not the presence of difficulty. It is the response to it. When you believe you are stoppable, one setback will silence your effort. But when you believe you are unstoppable, setbacks become strategy sessions. They become moments to adjust, refine, and continue. Being unstoppable is rooted in purpose. When you are clear about why you are moving forward, quitting becomes less attractive. Purpose strengthens endurance. It gives pain meaning. It gives effort direction. An unstoppable person understands that failure is an event, not an identity. They separate mistakes from self-worth. They learn without collapsing. They adapt without retreating. To be unstoppable does not require perfection. It requires persistence. It requires the decision to rise again repeatedly. It demands mental toughness. You cannot control opinions, but you can control your preparation. You cannot control timing, but you can control effort. When you wake up each morning and affirm that you are unstoppable, you are strengthening your resilience. You are reminding yourself that your determination is stronger than your doubt. You are building an internal conviction that external pressure cannot easily break. Unstoppable people are not fearless. They act despite fear. They are not immune to discouragement. They move despite discouragement. They understand that momentum is created by consistent forward motion. Every step, no matter how small, builds progress. When your mindset aligns with persistence, your confidence expands. You stop measuring yourself by temporary results and start measuring yourself by unwavering commitment. You become less distracted by noise and more focused on execution. You develop stamina, you cultivate courage, and as you repeat that declaration daily, your identity begins to reflect it, your habits begin to support it, and your life begins to demonstrate the power of a mind that refuses to stop. Tell yourself you are responsible and reclaim authority over your choices. Tell yourself you are capable and awaken potential that's been waiting to rise. Tell yourself you are disciplined and let consistency turn effort into results. Tell yourself you are growing and let every challenge teach you, stretch you, and refine you. Tell yourself you are grateful and watch your perspective shift from limitation to abundance. And tell yourself you are unstoppable and see how fear, failure, and doubt lose their grip on your life. These 6 words are not just affirmations. They are a roadmap. Repeating them daily rewires your mind, reshapes your identity, and positions you to move forward with confidence, clarity, and unstoppable momentum.